Please stay with us as we come back to you for our next discussion as well. Now, moving the focus to US and Russia. US President Donald Trump has indicated that he is prepared to let the last remaining US-Russia nuclear arms control treaty to expire, declining a Russian offer to voluntarily extend its limits. Trump has said that if the New START treaty expires, it expires, adding that the United States would pursue a better agreement. The treaty, signed in 2010, caps US and Russian deployments of strategic nuclear warheads and is due to expire on 5th February. Arms control advocates warn that once the treaty lapses, the world's two largest nuclear powers could begin deploying war weapons beyond existing limits, further weakening the global arms control framework. Trump has said any replacement agreement should include China, a proposal Beijing has rejected, saying its nuclear arsenal is far smaller than those of the United States and Russia. Now, for this discussion, we welcome back Mr. Keith Vaz. He's a former British minister, joins us live from Dubai. Thank you very much, Mr. Vaz, for staying with us. Now, looking at this, how dangerous is this situation, and why is Trump's attitude toward this treaty very relaxed?
Well, I think the worry is we reached a stage in world affairs where both of the big superpowers, Russia and America, agreed that it was better to spend money on their own people rather than spend money on weapons that are never going to be used. However, it's now likely that they've decided, well, America has decided, there's no point in having a deal because to them, everything is interconnected. A deal on this would mean somehow getting a deal on Ukraine. And the Russians are not prepared to do a deal on Ukraine because Ukraine is not prepared to make any changes to the way in which it's conducting the war with Russia. So that's why this is coming up at this particular stage. And the Americans are very reluctant to renew. They're trying to put pressure on the Russians to settle in Ukraine.
So, now that President Trump has said that he's confident, or he at least seems confident that, I have a better deal in mind. But we don't know if that's concrete, right? So in case he is eyeing to add China into this or a better deal as per him, do you think that China will agree?
I don't know. I think that we are in the stage where we cannot predict what is going to happen between these countries. In a sense, it's easier to predict what Putin is going to do, President Putin and President Xi, than it is Donald Trump, because he seems to change the policy every single day. So I don't know the answer to that question. It's not something that one can possibly define, given what we've seen over the last few years.
Yes, 100%. And how do you think this will further, this no treaty situation will further affect international nuclear stability, and what other countries might be seeing this opportunity to arm up, add more into their arms? Do you think that maybe there will be other countries eyeing this situation?
I think a lot of other countries who would want to use this as an opportunity to give their neighbors a good battering will see this as a way of increasing their arms expenditure. You ask which countries? Any country in the world that is in dispute with its neighbor, any country in Africa, in Latin America, in Asia, even the European countries, Denmark now facing the possibility of an attack from the United States. Any of these countries, the world has become unmanageable in terms of predictions and expenditure. The one thing that is certain is that the biggest beneficiaries of what we have seen since the re-election of Donald Trump, number one definitely is going to be the arms dealers, who are going to treat this as a bonanza. They've never had it so good. Secondly, anyone who has shares in oil companies, especially American oil companies, are going to be very happy. So these are the two biggest beneficiaries. I think there are others, but those are the ones we can identify. The world has changed. That's why you're talking about this every single day. It's good for the news companies such as yours. You're never going to be bought for the next 2.5 years because of what Donald Trump is going to do. But for sure, the world is a more dangerous place because of what is going on.
That's for sure. And lastly, this potential treaties lapse. How do you think this will be affecting U.S.'s credibility even after, Trump leaves office, if he does?
Well, when he leaves office, everything that he's done is be reversed by the next president. If it's a Democrat, if it's a Republican who wants to serve 2 terms, they will also be having some nuances. And therefore, to that extent, this is a short-term thing. He's got 2.5 years left. Well, to be honest, he's got until November. If he loses control of the House of Representatives, then, of course, it all changes. So much of what he's doing is to do with the midterm elections, but he's doing it in the wrong way.
Yes, thank you for highlighting that, Mr. Raz. Please stay with us as we come back to you for our next discussion as well. Now we move the focus on to Middle East. U.S. envoy Tom Barrack